Yo guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'll be ranking the 10 superhero movies of 2021 that I saw. So yeah, the year 2021 is over and we got some fantastic movies in this year. But I am not talking about the entire year of movies in this video. I'll be solely comparing the 10 superhero movies that I saw. And that means the 9 superhero movies of 2021 plus Wonder Woman 1984. It is a 2020 movie, but I got to see it only in 2021 because of a lockdown in Belgium we had at the time, so I did not see this movie in theaters. And I had to wait until 2021 to watch this, so it is on this list. Thank you very much. And it's actually quite okay for Wonder Woman to be here, because with the inclusion of Wonder Woman 1984, I actually have 10 movies, making it a full-blown top 10 list, so that's great. But fun fact, this ranking actually is a video in a series of rankings I'll be doing this week. With last Saturday, I did the 2022 anticipated movies. Did you not see that video? Well, you can see it right there. Today, we have the 2021 superhero movies ranked from worst to best. Following Wednesday, we have the best movies of 2021 in general. And then following Saturday, we have the worst movies of 2021. And a week later, I hope on the next Saturday, we will have a ranking for all the movies of 2021. All 210 movies that I saw about 2021. So stay tuned for that. For this list, I'll be including every superhero genre movie that I have seen. It's not only Marvel and DC, we also have Netflix up there and Hasbro, because they made a Snake Eyes movie. And the superhero movies in 2021 were so influential that some of these movies made it on my worst list of 2021, and some of these made it on my best list of 2021. So it'd be in the honorable mentions, but they are there. So without further ado, let's get right into it with my number 10, and my number 10 is Snake Eyes, the G.I. Joe origin story. I don't even know where to begin with this movie. It's awful in every single fucking way. It's like, it hasn't got any redeeming points. It's a Snake Eyes movie, but it doesn't feel like a Snake Eyes movie. The name Snake Eyes only gets dropped once in the end, and the suit, the famous suit, we only see for 1 second in the end. If you take the name Snake Eyes off of this, and then delete the entire last minute of this movie, you would have never known that this was a Snake Eyes movie. It's so goddamn awful. The story is just incredibly dull and incredibly boring. The characters are insanely stupid, so there's nothing redeeming about this movie. This may be one of the worst movies I ever saw, including Cats. And on number 9, we have Thunder Force, the new Netflix movie with Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer. What could go wrong? I mean, apart from everything, because everything is awful in this movie, and I really fucking hate it when a message gets thrown into my face when it doesn't need to be thrown into my face. This movie could have done perfectly without all the bullshit about female empowerment. I mean, I stand by it completely. I agree with most of it. But please, do not throw this shit in my face. I can't handle it. If you use that as a message, then use it as a message. Don't try to make an entire movie about it where you don't care about the story you're telling, only to throw it in your face. It doesn't work like that. If you throw it in someone's face, if you want to make a movie about the female empowerment message, make it about that. And not try to hide it, because it's never gonna work and people will tend to hate your movie, as did it happen with this movie. They completely forgot about anything else to put that message in your face. And that worked not so good. It didn't work at all. And on number 8, we have Wonder Woman 1984. This movie had a lot of potential. It followed up to the great Wonder Woman movie from 2017. So that's actually something that was very beneficial for this movie, and I very much looked forward to it. But then Patty Jenkins, she chose to also go this female empowerment route, and not in the right way, because in the first one they did it on a good scale, and it was hidden throughout the movie, and it was a great feeling, and it really worked. But then in this movie, they chose to go back to all the female cliches we have out there and make her like cry all the time and being just the woman in love. And she brought back her dead husband and it didn't work, and then her dead husband had to go away and she had to learn a lesson and she was crying again, and the entire villain was just a wishing stone. And well, you can see where my flaws with this movie lie. It's the third act I liked it, but the rest of the movie, it sucked. Number 7 is reserved for Black Widow, and I have nothing against this movie. This actually is kind of a solid movie, but the fact is that this movie came out 5 years too late. It should have come out in 2016 when this movie was supposed to come out. Now, knowing that Black Widow did not survive Avengers Endgame in 2019, what's the purpose of this movie? Yeah, I know the fans demanded a Black Widow movie to be made, but it's not in this way. You have actually nothing redeeming in this movie apart from Yelena Belova. She is great, she is perfect, and it's more of an origin story for her than it is an homage to Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, and that's just the fact. And maybe Marvel knew that, and that's why they gave Yelena Belova, Florence Pugh's character, just more moments to shine. But for a Black Widow movie about a send-off for Scarlett Johansson, this movie really fell flat for me. Number 6 is for Marvel Studios' Eternals. Not a bad movie in any way, just a way too big of a movie. It has a lot going on, and Marvel thought that they were gonna make another masterpiece with this, having director Chloe Zhao, who just won an Oscar for Nomadland, in the Best Directing, Best Actress, and Best Picture. So yeah, I mean, this movie had potential. It just felt flat because its story is way too big for what it's telling. The CGI is great and they use a lot more real footage instead of green screen footage, so that's great, but in the end, you don't really care about any of the characters, and you don't really care about any of the story, and maybe this movie would have been better if it came out between Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, because then we would have agreed more with the way why they didn't interfere with all that shit going on. It's just the truth. Number 5 is for Venom: Let There Be Carnage, and this movie actually is quite fun, and I had a lot of fun with this movie. The only and the biggest issue I have with it is its villains. You have Carnage, the greatest Venom villain in history. I have waited 15 to 20 years for him to finally go have a role on the big screen, and then they did this with him. It's so incredibly lame. He's just there the entire time, just screaming after Shriek, which, I mean, she did not have to be in this movie. She really was annoying. The banter between Venom and Eddie was fun, I like that. But just for a Carnage movie, Let There Be Carnage, there wasn't a lot of Carnage, and that really sucked because he's such a great character, and they completely wasted him. On number 4, we have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This movie actually is quite awesome. I really liked it when I saw it in theaters. It's not my favorite origin story, but it is a solid one, and Simu Liu plays it wonderfully. He's a great Shang-Chi. Just the hero Shang-Chi isn't the most interesting part of this movie. It's more like the Mandarin story. His father, he's great. Trevor Slattery makes a comeback, he's great. Awkwafina isn't as annoying as I thought she would be. So those are all redeeming points, only that for a Shang-Chi movie, we don't get a lot of Shang-Chi, and I mean, it's a little bit convoluted, and I just rewatched the movie and my points still stand for it. I actually bumped it down half a star. It's now on 3.5. It's still a very solid movie. It's a very good movie, but it doesn't hold up as strongly as I wanted it to, and that's why it's a number 4. And we're heading into the top 3 with The Suicide Squad. This movie is awesome. It completely redeemed the first Suicide Squad, which still sucks a lot, but this movie is really fun. It has a great story, it has great deaths, it has great CGI, it has great humor, and James Gunn did it again. He made a great movie, he made a great entry, and he kind of saved the DC universe all on his own. He is a great movie maker, and he did a phenomenal job on this movie. I enjoyed the fuck out of this. It was really damn great. Even though they fought just a C-star. And even that worked. My number 2 is a movie 4 years in the making, because I will not count the 2017 movie as being ever made, but Zack Snyder's Justice League is really a fantastic continuation of Batman v Superman, even making that movie a lot better. This movie just crushed it on all the fronts. It is 4 hours, and that's way too long, and that's my main flaw with this movie. It isn't perfect in any way, but it's, well, the improvement over the 2017 film is gigantic. This movie rocks on every front. It's great, it's funny, it's dark, it's sad. It has a great story, and it has great improvements for every character, mostly including Cyborg and the Flash. Cyborg actually has a character arc in this movie, and the Flash has something to do in this movie, meaning they have an entire scene for him saving the entire fucking planet with epic music and epic screen and weird running, but it still works better than what they did in the 2017 movie, cutting all that away and changing it for just him pushing a fucking truck of nobodies. I was so angry at that, and now they made it good. And that's why I love this movie, and it almost was my number one for that reason. But after a while, I found some flaws, being the length and stuff. And on number 1, how could it be? We have Spider-Man No Way Home. This is by far the best superhero movie of the year. This is by far one of the best superhero movies ever made. This is by far one of the best movies in the MCU. So yeah, this movie has it all. I'm not gonna spoil yet, because this movie only came out like a few days ago in the Philippines, and that's really sad for them. I think everyone in the Philippines now know what is happening in this movie and who is showing up and stuff. And yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it yet. We're almost there. Give it a few more weeks and then we can freely talk about it without annoying anybody. But yeah, this movie had it all. I was in complete awe of every single second happening on screen. It's brutal for a Spider-Man movie, which I loved. It's great in every way. It was sad. It was heroic, it was great, it was awesome, it was everything you wanted a Spider-Man movie to be, and it's actually a pretty solid ending for my 22-year-long life growing up with Spider-Man. This movie brought it to full closure. And it's not like closure like I'm gonna stop watching superhero Spider-Man movies now, but it made me all go back to the beginning, and it was great. And this was the finale we deserved, and it was awesome in every way. And I plan to watch this movie a lot more times in a movie theater and at home when it comes out on Blu-ray. So yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home is the best superhero movie of the year, and it rightfully deserves so. So that were my picks for the best and the worst superhero movies of 2021. Let me know your list in the comments, because I'm sure that you have a list too. Show them to me in the comments and let's talk about it. Maybe you thought that the movie that I have placed on number 1 and number 2 and number 3, maybe you thought it deserved to be way higher than that I said. Or maybe you think that the movie that I put in last place, like Snake Eyes, maybe you think that that one deserves to be on top. Let me know in the comments down below, because I love talking about it with you guys. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please consider to give it a like and subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications to see more of these videos. It's gonna be a great week. It's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be a fantastic year. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.